Hi, I'm Danielle Rollins. Have you ever wondered what it took to pull off a huge party at your own house? I'm going to show you. I'm doing a party tonight for the Atlanta Food and Wine Festival with the Inn at Blackberry Farms from Wallen, Tennessee. 150 people are going to show up here expecting a huge night in less than 3 hours. And I'm going to make it look all effortless. But first, I'm going to show you the behind the scenes. So tables are getting set up right now. 2 long tables will house all the people sitting here tonight. First, we're going to try to create a little entranceway vignette because this pole's not so pretty. Might look actually a little pretty. What do you think? Perfect. Didn't we have a pot of flowers around here somewhere? There you go. Thanks. I think this makes a nicer entrance when you're coming down. Plus, it keeps people going the way you want them to go. A lot of people think entertaining requires a lot of effort. And smaller entertaining does require effort, not quite as much. But in this case, 150 people, what are we going to have tonight? And how many servers is it going to take to pull it off? How many people took to set all this up? Tell me some details.
Sure. Well, we actually have about 25 serving staff, 8 to 10 kitchen staff.
That means no hot, no cold food.
We have 4 of our managers here. We brought our florist. We are probably going to go through about 10 cases of wine.
That means a lot of fun people.
We brought a trailer full of flowers.
I am impressed with all the details that are going in here. Thanks. It's going to be a wonderful night. These flowers are all so pretty and they're all so easy. You could do these yourself at home. Tell me about the flowers.
Well, the floral here, they're cut flowers from our owner's front lawn. These are really fun because we actually took herbs from our garden and put them in little pots, so we can actually replant those.
That's perfect.
So those
I love that idea.
And then we pulled some great things just from the garden, from the woods, honeysuckle from the farm, as well as we have some blackberry brambles from the wild blackberry bushes. So it kind of brings it all together.
I love bringing a little bit of nature into something structured. It's going to be so much prettier being so relaxed than it would be if everything was so perfect.
Watch my children go to see what they become.
Long tables are always one of my very favorite ways to entertain. It's sort of like a giant picnic. I like one long table because then you don't have to worry who you put with whom, and everybody gets to dine family style. It's always a really, really fun way to create a lot of interaction with people, and creating interaction with people is key to people having a great time. And I can't wait till we get to the seating part. That's always my specialty. Hey, we're in the kitchen now for some behind the scenes details on the food. Can you tell me what we're having for dinner?
What we're going to have for dinner tonight, we're going to start off with 3 different canapes, a little bit of fava bean pesto on some baguette, and then we're going to have some smoked quail legs with white barbecue sauce.
I love quail eggs.
No, legs. Actually.
Legs,
So,
legs, wow.
So sometimes we do eggs and legs. So this time we're going to do the legs. They're smoked and with white barbecue sauce. Trout is actually going to be the second course, but after the canapes we'll get started into a pea and mint salad. After that, we're going to have roasted quail, bacon wrapped with
the rest of the quail, not the legs. We already had the legs.
Yes.
So then we get the rest of the quail.
Get the rest of the bird now. Actually, there's still some legs, but it's wrapped with Benton's bacon, and we're going to glaze it with sorghum from Muddy Pond, who's here. And then after that, we're going to have Craig Rogers lamb, which are out in the field.
Let's don't talk about that. I'm still having a hard time with that one.
But we're going to do 2 versions of smoked and braised lamb, and then also a roasted loin with grits and garlic custard. And then
Of course, grits. We're in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And for dessert?
For dessert, a chocolate hazelnut crunch bar with Alvin Sinclair chocolate from Nashville. So
Perfect.
we're really focused on the people in the region here for this dinner.
Great. Doesn't sound like anybody's going to go home hungry tonight.
I hope not.
And tell me, how much did it take you to bring all this in? How many loads of food are we having to feed 150 people?
5 coolers worth. So 5 coolers and about 3 good days of prep.
Okay, I've never done that much prep, but that is prepared. Let me ask you this, what would be your favorite meal if you had to entertain at home for a spring dinner for 6 people? Quick.
Spring dinner. I don't know if it's necessarily spring, but fried chicken and a simple salad. And just some fresh vegetables, asparagus, peas, things like that.
I always like to ask the chef, that's how you learn the real keys to entertaining. So I'm pretending I'm the butler, and I'm in the butler's pantry right now, but I'm gonna show you how much wine is actually chilling. This is just only the whites. But that is an impressive display of wine. All the way down. I claim the first 2 bottles. This is Andy, Director of Food and Beverage from Blackberry Farms, and we're gonna make a little cocktail. He's making.
This is a sorghum mint julep with an addition of a little lime, which is traditionally found in a mint julep. The sorghum really kind of gives this drink a really sort of base note that you need to fight with something, and that's where the lime comes in. So we're using the Muddy Pond sorghum from the Gunters, who are here as honored guests, and we thin it out with just a little bit of hot water to make sort of a syrup that you can add, and then we steeped a bunch of mint here in Buffalo Trace bourbon
Oh my God.
to get sort of a bourbon tea, so to speak, and we fill the glass with ice, add a little of the sorghum syrup, pour on the bourbon, and then top with sparkling water and a lime wedge. And then we have just a nice refreshing summer beverage. It's not too overpowering and uses a really great natural sweetener.
That sounds great. Can I taste it?
Yeah, please. You know what
Smells
we have to
really
adjust.
good. No. It's perfect. The only thing needs is more.
Yeah, more.
Now I'm in the makeshift kitchen with Joseph. So it takes a lot of prep to put on a party this size, and of course you can't do it straight from the kitchen alone. So we set up a makeshift kitchen here. I'm gonna let Joseph tell you all the fun details we brought in and how many people it's gonna take to staff the party outside and the servers. It takes a lot to do the things that make it look easy for other people to have a good time.
Well, what we have out here is kind of, like you said, a makeshift kitchen, convection oven that we can, put lots of pans in there and finish things off that we need to. We'll roast the lamb in there. And then the speed rack switch we'll have full of all of our mise en place, just all of the things staged up dish by dish, so we don't have to run back and forth so much. Everybody should have one in their homes built somehow.
I think they should. I'm sure that my teenager would love that. Just like a pull
Just
things
pull
from.
things
That's what
from.
happens when you have a 16-year-old son.
Oh yeah.
Always ready. And all the plates are ready to
All
go.
the plates are kind of in order also the way we organize is by dish. The reason we have so many tables is what we'll do is we actually, for certain courses, we'll spread all the plates and then each person has a job. So for us in the kitchen, there's probably going to be about a dozen people working on everything for the food. So it actually turns into almost an assembly line where one person has a job to put a specific item on the dish and it just slides down. It's very efficient. And the wait staff comes here and picks it up and takes it right to the table.
So we're setting up a mini restaurant in the garage. Because tonight's dinner is for the inn at Blackberry Farms, I have all the blackberry trellised over here. Those are what we used on the tables. The peas for tonight's dinner are harvested straight from here, and the little pea shoots make excellent salads. So it's always fun, you don't have to have a garden this size, to have a little bit of fresh vegetables that you can grow yourself easily. I used to have them in pots before I went crazy and decided to put in a gigantic potager. But I have to say this is my favorite part of the yard. Because tonight's dinner is inspired farm to table, I know you hear the term a whole lot, but I'm going to tell you what we're doing is literally bringing the farm to the table. And so a lot of the things tonight we're going to be featuring will have some sorghum in them. I'm not even sure what sorghum is. It's kind of the hot new thing right now, but I'm going to let you tell us what sorghum is and what this is here.
Okay.
Talk about entertainment.
Okay. Well, sorghum actually is grown as a cane. There's like a sugar cane and then there's a sorghum cane. But this sorghum cane, we squeeze the juice out of it. I just have bamboo sticking in the mill now because it's out of season for sorghum cane. But that's the way cane is squeezed, run through the mill and squeeze the juice runs out into the pan, and then we boil this juice down into a thick syrup. The syrup is about the same thickness as honey, and just a little different in taste, but it's really sweet and
Kind of malty, and it's
a little bit, yes, a little bit.
And so, what all do you put sorghum in?
Well, nowadays it's used in a lot of all kinds of stuff, but tonight it's actually going to be as an additive in some cocktails. But generally it's used on biscuits and cornbread and things like that.
Same things you'd use honey in.
Yeah, very much, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be pretty entertaining. It'll at least stir up a little bit of what the heck is going on in our front yard when people drive down a busy street. Tell me about them.
They're Texas wolf sheep. Supposed to be recognized as the best gourmet meat sheep there is. Glad to be here. You got a really nice place.
Well, thank you. I hope the sheep will be comfortable here tonight.
Oh, well, they got plenty of green grass, plenty of water.
They seem pretty happy. I have to say, you're at least helping me get some good looks going by my neighbors.
Well, I would say that you're the only person downtown Atlanta with sheep in front yard.
I would say that I am definitely the only person who's done that. And I might be the only person who's decided to put a flock of sheep in for some entertainment.
For entertainment.
So this is Mary Celeste and Sam of Inn at Blackberry Farm. Thank you for doing this. It's going to be a really fun night.
Thrilled to be here.
We just talked about how much effort it is to put on a big night, 150 people coming. So tell us what makes your inn so successful, because I know you entertain more than 150 people almost every night.
It should be easy.
It should be easy.
It is what we do every day, but it's the road show, if you will, and it's going to be easy because it's in a beautiful place.
That's
And
kind.
no, I say that sincerely. If you have to do a lot more work if you're starting from scratch, but this is clearly a place in itself, a story in itself. So the food should add to that, and it'll be a great night.
Well, I'm honored. Tell me a little bit about the history of Inn at Blackberry Farm.
Well, in the 70s, my parents purchased what was the original property. It was our home. We lived there, and over the years, over the past 40 years, it's evolved into what people know it as today, which is a destination resort in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. 63 rooms today, 4,200 acres.
All kinds of awards.
Yeah, but I'm not going to go there.
You should.
But
It's incredibly beautiful.
but the food and the culinary experience is where we fly the highest, so that's why.
And you were one of the first people to start working with a lot of the farm-to-table movements and incorporating that into the inn. I've stayed there long ago, and we're really early pioneers of it before anybody else was. And that was something I really enjoyed, and I've enjoyed watching the evolution where you've added the horseback riding and the sheep, and it's just a very magical experience to go there because you truly feel like you're at a decadent farm, but it gives you a touch of going back to nature.
Well, that's a big part of who we are, and some will say it. I'll let others say it more than I, but that's also a large part of what this night's about. We are here to honor some of the great farmers of the South, and tonight we're going to do so with 3 people we've selected. One, Craig Rogers, who's an incredible farmer of lamb, and then Muddy Pond sorghum, incredible southern product.
I just had some with some bourbon.
Did you?
I had a little taste.
It goes well with bourbon. Forget about cane sugar. And then our master gardener, John Kirkendall, who's just a little bit of a living history in his own right. So we're thrilled with the theme tonight.
Well, I am too. It's been really fun. It's kind of nice to go back to the roots of a 1928 house, and I'm sure there was sheep and farms and everything else next door, because when this house was built, this was literally in the sticks. So it's kind of fun, and I'm enjoying watching everybody drive by Habersham and slam on the brakes. I'll at least be talked about for a little while.
I guess they don't see sheep out in your front yard every night.
No, I have to say that might be probably one of the bigger elements of any party that I've ever seen around here.
Perfect.
Good. Well, thanks again, y'all.
We're excited to
you.
be here.
It's going to be fun.
And a little pre-party prep. While entertaining is not always easy, most things that are easy are not as enjoyable as things you put effort into. So tonight ought to be a stellar night. I'm relaxed. My guests aren't here yet, enjoying a little cocktail, and I'm all set waiting for the first guest to get here with a big smile on my face, and I know it's going to be a great evening because I have fun, and if I have fun, everyone's going to have fun. Thanks for coming.